I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV.
All right, well, that was a bust. I accidentally moved my finger and I shut everything up. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so let's get back into the swing of things, okay? Wanted to say welcome to everybody. If you're new to the channel, take a minute to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when we go live. My name is Lori Swan, Lori Alexander now, with Global Watchman News. We've been out of touch with you guys for just a little bit, but hopefully we can get back into the swing of things. This is just kind of like a practice one for me, checking my sound and everything. Now, tonight is going to be kind of a short video because I don't have my full StreamYard back up yet, so I can't do a lot of sharing with you guys, but I think everybody's been aware lately of what has been going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into talking just a little bit about this. So the big news dominating the headlines for weeks has been these UAPs or drones flying over New Jersey and New York. They've been continuing their daily surveillance unimpeded by any agencies, and our government does not seem to be too worried about it. With the lack of transparency by the outgoing Biden administration, it has opened doors for conspiracy theorists, I guess, to and misinformation agents to fill in the missing information that, you know, we don't know. Residents who have seen these mysterious lights are also concerned. So early speculation did suggest that these aircraft were searching for something. And what happened was that on December 2nd, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission stated that a radioactive material went missing from a shipment. And it was set to be disposed of in New Jersey. When it arrived, the container was damaged and the material was missing. So it was speculated that these drones were searching for this missing material. Now, this was a grade 3, meaning that it was not a threat to the public as far as radioactivity. What it was a pen. It was for doing surgery for cancer patients. It was a pen that could target the tumor, and so it wasn't anything, you know, it wasn't I want to say radioactive material or waste from any kind of thing like that. So it was speculated that these drones were searching for this missing material, but the medical grade waste has safely been recovered. So that kind of ended that narrative. So other theories were fueled by people in the government, actually, like New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who went on the record claiming that they were from an Iranian mothership off the coast of New Jersey. Kind of an interesting use of the word mothership. I've never heard of a Navy vessel referred to as the mothership. But I guess, you know, I guess when you want to put forth a narrative covertly and just kind of hint as to what could possibly be the next step in this, you'll use words like that. You'll use trigger words. So apparently Van Drew had some very high sources that were behind his claim of this Iranian mothership theory. But that too has been debunked by both government and private sources. So as you can imagine, videos have been flooding the internet. One such video showed what looked like what we've come to know as biblical angels. It was close to what Ezekiel claimed to see in the sky in the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 1, verses 15 through 20 says, "As I looked at the living creatures, I saw a wheel on the ground beside each creature with its four faces. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like topaz, and all four looked alike. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel." So it was a wheel within a wheel. And that is, if you guys have seen that video that's been going around, and again, I do apologize that I can't share anything with you tonight, but we will get that up and running for our debut next month when we come back. So a wheel within a wheel, if you, like I said, if you saw the video, you would see that that's exactly what it was like. It was almost like they had taken the book of Ezekiel, or what Ezekiel's vision, and put it in our skies, because it was very strange like that. And then this week, it took a whole new twist with the appearance of what many claim were orbs alongside of the drones. And that was in Hudson Valley. They were claiming to see fast-moving orbs alongside amid the drones. So that's something that, if you're familiar with the orbs, if you're familiar with the spiritual aspect, the supernatural aspect of orbs, a lot of them they appear, I want to say they appear to be protectors, I guess you would say. Okay. So let's kind of do a timeline of these drones, okay? And like I said, this is just going to be a short show. I'm just trying to get my stuff, trying to get the cobwebs off, trying to get my stage fright under control, because you guys, I do have it. And being gone for so long, I could feel my anxiety right now. And I don't know why, because you guys are all friends, you know. I'm not doing anything that I haven't done for the last 10 years now. But yeah. Okay, so anyways, this is the drone timeline. So on November 19th, in Morris County, which is in New Jersey, the local law enforcement was on patrol, and they had observed and reported activities, drone activity. Then on November 22nd, the Federal Aviation Administration, or the FAA, issued a temporary flight restriction in Bedminster, New Jersey, from November 22nd until December 6th. Now, that restricted area in Bedminster was right in the area where President-elect Trump's golf course is. Kind of interesting about that. November 25th, the FAA issued a temporary flight restriction over Picatinny Arsenal Military Base in New Jersey. And that went from November 25th, and that won't expire until the 26th of December. December 3rd, Morris County Prosecutor's Office advises the public on how to report drone activity as the sightings continue. They are reported as being no known threat to public safety. The FBI started investigating that day with the drone sightings and asked the public to report any information related to recent sightings, if possible, flying. They caught a lot of them possibly flying in several areas along the Raritan River. It seems weird that they seem to be flying in a what do I want to say, in a pattern, like they were looking for something, or looking for someone. So on December 4th, the FAA extended the flight restriction in Bedminster through December 20th. On December 9th, the mayors of 21 towns in New Jersey, they wrote a letter to the governor, Phil Murphy, demanding action. They demanded a full investigation to determine the origin, the purpose, and the compliance with applicable regulations. And we're going to get into the regulation part of it in just a minute, because, we always say, well, what happens when something like this is taking place? They're playing that shell game. They don't want us to see what's really going on. And it's not as nefarious as people are thinking. December 10th, New Jersey State Senator John Bramnick, he released a statement calling for a limited state of emergency, calling for banning all drones until the public receives an explanation regarding these sightings. December 11th, Pentagon. Okay, so December 11th, that was when New Jersey Representative Jeff Van Drew, he said that the drones were large and sophisticated, and he alleges the presence of the Iranian mothership, citing high-ranking sources. And then the same day, the Pentagon did debunk the claim, saying the mysterious drones flying overhead in New Jersey were not from the Iranian mothership. There was no Iranian mothership off the coast. Whether there was or wasn't, I don't know. The fact that they're still using the word mothership is, the red flag for me. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh said Van Drew's claims had no basis. December 12th, New York and New Jersey senators wrote a letter to the heads of the FBI, the FAA, and the Department of Homeland Security, again, demanding some answers. The Pentagon says that many of the reported drone sightings, they appear to be low-flying, fully manned aircraft, and they said that we have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose national security or public safety threat or have a foreign nexus. Guys, here's the thing. The fact that they're even letting these drones fly as much as they have without knowing who they are, who's flying them, what their purpose is. If that was you and I out there flying it, you can bet your bottom dollar that we'd have the police knocking at our door, questioning us as to what our motives are, especially with that many of them. I don't feel that it's not one person doing it, and I'm going to give you my theory because I do have one. December 13th, multiple incidences of drones were reported entering airspace at Naval Weapons Station, Earl, New Jersey. The base remains prepared to respond to any potential risk, leveraging robust security measures and advanced detection capabilities. New York Governor Kathy Hochul calls for federal assistance after a drone sighting at Stewart International Airport, located 60 miles north of New York City, temporarily shutting down the airport. Port Authority of New York and New Jersey say there's no impacts to flight operations during the closure. Well, there kind of was because it was closed. Again, on that day, the 13th, Governor Hochul demanded. Now, this is what I want you guys to take notice of. Okay, on the 13th of December, Governor of New York Hochul demands Congress pass the Counter UAS Authority Security, Safety, and Reauthorization Act, which would strengthen the FAA's oversight of drones and give more authority to state and local enforcement agencies to investigate the activity. So when things like this happen, we have to look at what are they trying to push through. Again, we can call upon the false flags that we've had in the past, the Bataclan, the Pulse nightclub, what else? There's I had to be careful what I'm going to say. I almost said something else, but you guys know what I'm talking about, the sandbox. So, I mean, when you look at these things and you have to realize that there's some sort of hidden motive and hidden agenda behind these things, which is usually they're trying to push through something that's going to limit or take away some more of our rights. So on December 14th, the FBI says nearly 5,000 tips have been received, with less than 100 of those were generated credible leads. Department of Homeland Security official says they are confident that many of the reported drone sightings were in fact manned aircraft being mistaken as drones. December 15th, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says that the federal government is actively addressing the issue. New York Representative Chris Smith says he is proposing new legislation to give state and local authorities more power to track and potentially bring down these aerial drones. Again, here we go with the regulation as far as these things go. 15th, the same day, Chuck Schumer was asking the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to immediately deploy special drone detecting technology, which he said had been unclassified to get to the bottom of what was happening. You would think that the Biden administration would already have all the technology, especially if it has a chance of being, if it had a chance of being not friendly. So December 16th, President-elect Trump says that the Biden administration knows more about the situation and his lack of transparency is causing more concern by the American public, which is true. You know, we want the answers because unfortunately people are doing what human nature is, and that is fill in the blanks with whatever. And that's where the conspiracy theorists are out there, and they're just like, you know, running rampant with this thing. You know, we've got everything from Project Bluebeam. Guys, we have gone over Project Bluebeam for years. There's nothing to indicate that that's what's going on right now. Okay, so that kind of brings us up to speed here on what's going on. So I found a video, and I'm going to put all the links to the videos that I'm talking about tonight. And again, third time, I'm going to apologize. We will have everything up and running for the premiere of coming back next month, but unfortunately tonight I didn't have the chance to do it. But so there was a video that I watched, and I'm going to tell you something. I do not trust this man to save my life, and that is Dr. Stephen Greer. I don't trust him. I don't trust him, and I don't trust Billy, whatever his name is. I don't trust either one of them. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So Greer spoke about the drones, and again, I'll put the video up for you guys to watch. And he said that it appears to be, and this was his sources, okay? His sources told him that it appears to be a CIA psyop. And that kind of like raised the red flags, because if you know anything about the CIA versus the FBI, the CIA cannot legally carry out any operations on American soil. It is treason. So if the CIA is behind this, they are committing treason against the American people. Not that that would surprise me at all, because we do know that the CIA has broken this law in the past, and you know, but Dr. Greer also said this is going to be used as a stepping stone for hard disclosure, and he says. He's used the term. Now, if you guys go over and watch Big John's last few videos, he talks about the new golden age of enlightenment. He talks about how that has to do with the pyramid and the $1 bill. And we've talked about this before. When Robbie was with us, we used to talk about what this was and how the Galactic Federation of Light, which is the Ascended Masters, the fallen, were involved in it, and again, we're seeing that same thing. And so he said, Greer says that it's a good thing that we want to welcome in a new golden age of enlightenment. Yeah, I don't think we want to do that, but okay. All right. So what's crazy about what Greer said, and he talked about the Galactic Federation of Light. The former Israeli space security chief came on record, and he said that extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. Haim Eshed, who headed Israeli space security program for 30 years, has been claiming aliens exist, that Israel and the United States have long been in contact with them, and the leaders of the world, including Trump, know. Again, when I use the word aliens, you know what you have to do. You have to exchange that word for what? Fallen angels, Anunnaki, Nephilim, right? So Trump was going to expose the truth, but the Galactic Federation apparently stopped him. Well, I don't know about that, but Haim also says that the aliens conduct experiments on Earth and that there is a joint base underground on Mars where they collaborate with American astronauts, which I thought that was interesting, because we do know that President Eisenhower supposedly met 3 times with the aliens, again, fallen angels, in secret. And on February 20th, 1954, he signed an agreement that allowed them to take and experiment on, I don't know how many people every year in exchange for the technology that he had. Okay, so all of this appears to be taking place because of this one legislation. And this is what it is. So it's called the Counter UAS Authority Security Safety and Reauthorization Act. Earlier this year, which I believe was in June, House Committee on Homeland Security Chairman Mark Green, Ranking Member Bonnie Thompson, House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure Chairman Sam Graves, and Ranking Member Rick Larson, the House Judiciary Committee Ranking Member Gerald Nadler, introduced a bipartisan Counter UAS Authority Security Safety and Reauthorization Act of 2024. Now, this legislation will renew. It's supposed to be renewed. It's October, I think, of next year, or it might be 29. I think I have it written down. I might get to my notes. So this legislation will renew and reform current legal authorities. It provides the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Justice with critical tools to mitigate credible threats posed by unmanned aircraft systems, UASs, or drones. Chairman Graves, now this is what he stated. This important bill reauthorizes and reforms federal counter UAS authorities while ensuring that the national airspace system remains safe and open to drone innovation. With this legislation, we stay one step ahead of emerging drone threats and begin to put tools into the hands of law enforcement to detect, identify, and if necessary, mitigate threats posed by unlawful drone usage. Now, it doesn't seem like anybody's doing anything right now, does it? Okay, yeah, it was 2028. It says the Counter UAS Authority Security Safety and Reauthorization Act of 2024 would extend existing Department of Homeland Security and Department of Justice counter authorities through October 1st of 2028 to counter the growing threat from the drones. All right. So far our government's denied that the drones are ours. But like again, I said, Stephen Greer does have the outside sources that keep telling him that this is a CIA operative. And if it is, like I said, that is it's treason. They are not allowed by law to take part in any operations on American soil aimed toward American people, and that's possibly what's going on. So here's the thing, and this is my theory on it. So the orbs that people are seeing kind of goes along with when the United States and the other world powers started testing nuclear weapons back, decades ago. What they did is they started testing them and reported that there was lights like orbs appearing at the sites at Trinity. At the outholes out in the Pacific. There was, wherever they were going to be detonating a nuclear weapon, there was always these orbs. And I believe that they are there to make sure, I guess, that things don't get out of control or that things don't go awry so that we are dumb enough to destroy ourselves or completely wipe the planet out. So I think that they're there to help us. I think that, God is not going to let these things go unchecked. He's going to make sure that the angels or, that they're there to protect us. Do I think that's what's going on right now? Yeah, I have no reason not to believe that. Do I think that these things I don't want to say alien. No, I think that they are ours. I think that that's why the Biden administration has been so quiet, is because they're either ours or they know who they are, who they belong to. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's yes, nukes do open up portals. That's absolutely right. And again, like I said, I don't trust Dr. Greer, but some of the things that he says, here's the thing is when you listen to these people, like Dr. Greer, you have to take the meat and throw out the bones. You have to take, and you have to understand that they will mix a few truths in with the lies. You just got to know and have the discernment to be able to pick it out. All right. So when he says things like this, I believe that is probably the truth. And he did say that once we started detonating the nukes, that we we were doing things in other dimensions that the people weren't, or the entities weren't too happy. So that's why they were coming through and why they were watching us. So anyways, all right. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the chat room. Like I'm on my my iPad, so it's kind of hard for me. I will be on my laptop again when we start up. So, let's see. Hi, Julie. Hello, Deb, Charity, Vegan. How you doing, Vegan? Hi, Rick, Melanie, Naja. Yes, the Pope opening up the vault. That's another thing. It's all on its own. And I did have notes ready for that as well. I did some research on that earlier, a couple days ago, but I decided to go with this tonight as the topic because it was easy. I could do it by myself, like I said. And again, I don't mean to sound like broken record, but I do want to apologize for not having all of the technical bells and whistles up and running, but that will be taken care of by the time we come back. Big John's going to be coming back with us as well. Ernie's going to be returning. You guys are going to probably get to meet Keith because he's got a couple of things, shows that he's going to be presenting as well, having to do with Flat Earth. So it's going to be an interesting year. Dr. Joy's going to be coming back. I've spoke with a couple of people. I spoke with you guys, Cigar Jimmy. He's going to be coming on, and he wants to kind of talk about the positive things that are happening instead of dwelling on the negative and the things that kind of burden our spirits down. And that's what I don't want to do this year when we come back, is I want to make sure that we don't dwell on the negative, that we have a lot of positive things, and we're not going to talk about, just doom and gloom all the time. We're going to have a lot of things that are going to uplift our spirits and keep us, centered and rooted in the Word. So it should be interesting on where I decide to take that this year. So, and the topics that we're going to be covering. So, all right. Okay, guys, that's it. We're going to end for tonight. I do want to thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be back next month, in January. Not sure of the date, but we will be back for sure. All right. So I want to say to you, it was great seeing you guys. God bless, and remember, until next time, eyes open, no fear.